Meetings with Maharaja by Satyajit Ray, Class 8 English Supplementary Reader. About the author, Satyajit Ray was born on 2nd May 1921 and he died on 23rd April 1992. He was an Indian film director, writer, and illustrator. He was one of the greatest filmmakers of the 20th century. Ray directed 36 films, including feature films, documentaries, and shorts. He was also a fictional writer, publisher, illustrator, calligrapher, music composer, graphic designer, and film critic. He authored several short stories and novels meant primarily for young children and teenagers. Feluda the Sleuth and Professor Shonku, the scientist in his science fiction stories, are popular fictional characters created by him. He was awarded an honorary degree by Oxford University. Ray's first film, Pathir Panchali, released in 1955, won 11 international prizes, including the inaugural Best Human Document Award at the 1956 Cannes Film Festival. This film, along with Aparajito and Apu Shonshar, 1959, formed the Apu trilogy. Ray did the scripting, casting, scoring, editing, and designed his own credit titles and publicity material. Ray received many major awards in his career, including 32 Indian National Film Awards, a Golden Lion, a Golden Bear, Silver Bears, a number of additional awards at international film festivals and award ceremonies, and an Academy Honorary Award in 1992. The Government of India honored him with the Bharat Ratna, its highest civilian award, in 1992. Ray had received many noticeable awards and gained a prestigious position over his lifetime. Satyajit Ray received an honorary Academy Award in 1992, becoming the first Indian to receive an honorary Oscars. He received the award for lifetime achievement. He was awarded Legion of Honor by the President of France in 1986. Let's read the story. The genre of the story is an excerpt from the title Our Films, Their Films by Satyajit Ray. In this short excerpt, Ray observes the challenges in shooting a film obtaining permission from a king, as in this excerpt, for instance, the curiosity of the outsiders about the film world, and so on. Introduction. Let's find out the challenges that have to be met during the course of a film shooting. It is not all fun and glamorous as we assume. The chapter begins with the author's conversation with the Maharaja of Jaisalmer. The major highlights of the story. The Maharaja inquired about the details of the film, such as, was the author coming from Mumbai? Was that a Bengali film which he was making? The author sensed a tinge of disappointment in the Maharaja's demeanor. He took the vacancies next to him. The sitting room of the Maharaj did not reflect its stature. The way the author describes the palace through the artistic view adds to light-hearted moments of the story. He describes his sitting room very meticulously. The sullen-looking sofas which lined the four walls of the Maharaja's sitting room. There were fluorescent tubes up near the four corners of the ceiling. Half a dozen paintings of the calendar variety hung from various positions on the wall. A Kashmiri center table had its brass top indecorously bent or curved. It was hard to believe one was sitting with the Maharaj of Jaisalmer, the oldest fortress town in western Rajasthan next to Chittor. The ambience of the palace did not reflect its grandeur and history, which was quite disappointing for the author. The author remembered the history of the kings of Jaisalmer, that they had once repulsed a siege by Alauddin. Followed by it, he wondered, would the present king resist an encroachment by a film company? Before giving permission, the king asked a debatable question, that why had the author chose Jaisalmer? Again, author presents his observation about the king. The king spoke in the flattest of drawls. He clarifies it to be lethargy, premature senility, the Maharaj being merely 40. The lustreless eyes beneath the drooping eyelids revealed nothing. The author cites his reason for choosing Jaisalmer. A. It was most dramatic location, perfectly answering the needs of their story. B. It had not been used by another feature filmmaker before. The Maharaj corrected them on the second point and informed that they made a film here some years ago, Sasi Punnu. It was a Punjabi. After a long pause, explained humorously by the author, the Maharaj got up and allowed them to take photos. The Maharaj further inquired that are there any dances in their film? To which the author replied, one, but not to be shot there. It had been shot in Bengal. In a forest, dance of demons. The author explained Maharaj that was February and they met before in December. In the meantime, they had shot scenes in the Bengal village, in 5 feet deep snow up in the Kurfin Shimla hills, in a desert flat as a sheet of plywood, waveless ocean. Now they plan to shoot in the 800-year-old fortress town, which would be Halla, the kingdom of Babylon. The king asked them about their needs and permission, to which the author replied to shoot on the roof of the old palace and to hoist some flags with some emblems on them at various points in the fort, to which he objected not to displace his. The author agreed to it and the Maharaj gave his consent. The author also requested that they would like to use his big drum, the Bari, for a war scene, to which the Maharaj gave his consent with only condition that it should not be taken out of the fort. The author laid his last request and they want camels, some hundreds, caparisoned with men to ride them. The Maharaj turned thoughtfully to his cousin Kumar Bahadur and asked him to arrange for it. The last condition which the Maharaj laid was that his daughter would like to watch their shooting. He asked the author to let Kumar Bahadur know their progress. The Maharaj came to see the shooting in his jeep. The author went to greet him. A special mention here is that the Maharaj sat in the front seat. Right behind him was a curtain which shrouded the rear. Perhaps his daughter has come to see the shooting and she was sitting in the rear seat. The author excused himself. The jeep held its position for a good half hour until a change of camera angle made it an intruder. A crowd thronged around the jeep. They shuffled off reluctantly, but the film company kept shooting till 6:30 p.m. The people of film company, 12 of them, were enjoying the hospitality of Maharaj. They were served coffee and gulab jamuns. To connect with the Maharaj, said they make rasgullas too. The author told the Maharaj that they had finished their shooting and would be going the next day. The Maharaj told them that they must see the collection of manuscripts before they go. They are some of the oldest Jain manuscripts in the world in the vault below the temple. And some Havelis. There are some wonderful buildings in the city. The Maharaj further told them the people studied the plan of Jaisalmer before they built Chandigarh. The author was curious to know Maharaj's taste in film was like. He was disappointed to know he didn't see many films only when he goes to Delhi. He liked Parinita and Devdas. Maharaj wished Baghabai would play his dholak for them. Maharaj exhibited some rare artifacts, stones, teacups, spoon, necklace, cufflinks. The author and his team were amazed to see the gleaming purity of saffron Jaisalmer marble. Further, Maharaj showed them that the cup floated in water. They were so finely made. He also informed that those were not made in India anymore. The author invited Maharaj to attend the premiere of the film, to which Maharaj very fondly answered only if Bhagavan promised to play dholak. Happy reading, children.